Welcome back to Brandon Sports, everybody. Hope you're having an amazing day. I'm here for my Monday Night Raw review for December 8th, 2025. Before we get into the review, please hit the like button and subscribe to the YouTube channel for more great content coming up. Now, my overall thoughts on this Raw was that it was boring. No creative input whatsoever. No creative juice in the show. There were two things that were good tonight that I thought were really good, and one thing that everybody thinks is good, but I think there's a swerve coming up with it, so that's why I think it's a little iffy, but we'll get there. But my overall thoughts was, like I said, no creative juice in the show whatsoever. SmackDown is boring, Raw is boring, there's no world champion on Raw. The Judgment Day is just backstage doing segments again, just coming out doing matches. AJ Styles is a part of a tag team, which I wish he wasn't. No disrespect to AJ Styles, no disrespect to Dragon Lee, but I don't care. And AJ Styles deserves more than this to be in a tag team. He's retiring next year. One of the greatest wrestlers to ever do it is retiring, and you have him as a World Tag Team Champion with Dragon Lee. And as soon as they drop these championships, then what? What is AJ Styles going to do? Go back after Dominic Mysterio? I mean, it's just no creative juice in this show whatsoever. You just had matches tonight. That's all they had was just matches. Nothing, no stories progressed. Only one story really progressed for me, and that was Raquel Rodriguez challenging Stephanie Valkyrie for the Women's Championship, even though she asked for a title opportunity last week. So you just ask for a championship opportunity, you just get it. This show just makes no sense. And before we get to the overall review, I just want to say one thing too. WWE's presentation is awful. It is awful. I don't understand why when you first come on Raw, there's no pyro, no nothing. This is the only thing that I really respect. I respect a lot of things about the presentation of what Vince McMahon did for the company, but the presentation of Raw is just lackluster. You have every week coming in, they're walking back, which I actually like, coming in and walking backstage. But they never begin to show with pyro. You brag about all this money that you guys make. All this money that the company is making, you can't afford pyro. No, none of the superstars have pyro except for Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. Even Rhea Ripley, when she does her stomp, no pyro. Io Sky, no pyro. Becky Lynch gets fog. Where's the pyro? Where's the presentation? Where's the larger-than-life superstars at? This is why this company is lacking creative direction. There is no larger-than-life superstar except for Roman Reigns, and he's just not there. Cody Rhodes is not on this show because his pyro is not there. Roman Reigns' pyro is not there. Who else has pyro? Seth Rollins doesn't even have pyro. Where's the pyro? Where's the glitz, the glamour? Where's everything that's supposed to make this sports, quote-unquote, sports entertainment? The stage is very, very small. Can we please go back to the big Titantron? Make it look presentable. That small stage looks ugly. I've been wanting to say this for a long time. It looks ugly. I don't care how many tickets you sell that you can't put the thing up. People shouldn't be behind there anyway. You can't even see. You have to put a screen back there probably because people can't see. Put the Titantron back up, the big one, and here's also the problem. If you have a brand split and you have the World Heavyweight Championship on Raw, you have the Intercontinental Championship on Raw. You have the Women's Intercontinental Championship on Raw. You have the World Tag Team Championships on Raw. The Women's Tag Team titles go through both brands. Why does every single set look the same? It is laziness by this company. Oh, it costs more money. Well, spend it. You make it. I've said since the beginning that when Vince McMahon sold the WWE, even though it was time for him to get out of creative, which I wish somehow Triple H just did creative and Vince McMahon would just move to the side and just continuously ran the company without actually being in there. But the reason why I say that is because TKO is not doing a good job. And it's sad to say right now that I would rather have Vince McMahon and his ideas and not creative ideas. Not at all. I'm talking about production. The look of the show. If you know that you're having a brand split, why does Raw and SmackDown look the same? It's a boring look. The pay-per-views in the stadium, it's a long ramp. It's a long way. It's a baseball stadium, so you can't really do much with it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. These shows look bad. The look of the show looks bad. It is horrible. And I just don't understand why they just don't spend the money. You have your own production crew, ring crew, everything, and this show looks the same like any other show. Raw and SmackDown look the same. What's the point of having a brand split? And actually, people keep saying, well, they need to get rid of it. No, they should not get rid of the brand split. You know why? Because if they get rid of the brand split, you're going to have people who are on Raw, then you're going to put them on SmackDown. The other people that are trying to make their way up in the company is not going to be able to be on the show because whoever's booking this show, which is Triple H, they have no creative idea. So they're going to, everybody that's on Raw, they're going to put them on SmackDown. And the people that they put on SmackDown, it's going to be the same go around every single week. Because eventually that's what Vince McMahon did. Raw was the number one show. SmackDown became the number one show with John Cena, Undertaker, and all those guys. Was there. Eddie Guerrero, Garvis Soul, Rey Mysterio, all those people on there. Chris Benoit, United States Championship. All those people were on SmackDown. Remember Paul Heyman's SmackDown when they were beating Raw in the ratings, and they took John Cena and put him on Raw after he beat JBL for the WWE Championship. And ever since then, SmackDown went downhill. It took years for SmackDown to get rebuilt. Even though Batista was there, Undertaker was there, which was still great because I watched SmackDown because, you had a curfew in the bedtime at the time because I was so much younger then. But now it's like, come on. SmackDown resurrected in 2016. After that, it was garbage again. Everything that they did on SmackDown was regurgitated from Raw when they put both shows together. SmackDown was a horrible show back in 2011, 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 and 17 was good. Then it started to go downhill when the pandemic happened. Then Raw took back over. Then what happened? Roman Reigns and the Bloodline made SmackDown great. And then what did they do? They took everything and moved it over to Raw on Netflix. It's like, what's the point of USA Network? I say this every week. I'm going to continue to keep saying it. What is the point of USA Network paying this money and going back to 3 hours for garbage creative that if they put this on Netflix, Netflix probably wouldn't tolerate it. That's how bad SmackDown is. And I rip it every week. I'm going to continue to rip it every week. This show was not good. Again, 2 segments that were good. 1 segment I think is a swerve. But other than that, this entire show was creatively bankrupt. Nothing good happened except for the 2 things I'm going to say. And that was the end of the show, around almost 10:21 or 10:20. This was ridiculously bad, and I'm sorry if people, this was a good show. No, it wasn't. What did we progress in this show? Nothing. Nothing progressed in this show. And I'm tired of it. You watch WWE for years and years and years, and you get Triple H in charge, and WWE in 2024 was great. You in 2025 now, it's 1 month left, and it's horrible. These shows have been horrible, terrible pay-per-views. I gave Survivor Series again. I gave Survivor Series a B- because of the War Games match. It was at a C-. People say it was the worst pay-per-view. I just enjoyed the main event. And I gave John Cena and Dominic Mysterio more leeway. Stephanie Valkyrie and Nikki Bella was okay. The first match was a 5 out of 10, 4 out of 10 maybe. But I just did it because the main event was nice. But the main event was a feel-good main event. But at the end, Roman Reigns and CM Punk and Cody Rhodes just standing there, people are booing and it goes off. Other than that, it's been a horrible year for creatively in the company. CM Punk, I know he lost his pet, his animal, his dog, Larry, so I'm not going to be too hard on him for not being here. Maybe he's still, going through that. So again, I'm not going to be angry about CM Punk not being there, but again, the world champion's not on the show. Again, he gets an excuse because obviously the passing of his dog. So we're not going to go in on it. But besides that, is he going to be on the show next week? What about the week after that? Brock Lesnar's gone. Where's Brock Lesnar? Where's Roman Reigns? This show was just not good, and there's nothing creatively that they can do right now. It's horrible. This is just awful. An awful show. I'm 9 minutes in almost, and I'm very, very frustrated watching the show. I love WWE. I defend wrestling over anything. I defend wrestling because I love this business. Truly, truly love the business of professional wrestling. I love it. It's the greatest thing on earth to me. Professional wrestling is truly great, but this show and these shows lately have been awful. And I'm going to continuously come up here and tell you that these shows are awful. We start off the night with Gunther coming out to his NXT theme music, which he had, which sounds good. Doesn't really make a difference to me because I just don't care. But it sounds nice. The crowd is already booing Gunther. The crowd is chanting, "We want Cena before Gunther could even talk." Gunther says, "Don't get your hopes up. He's not coming tonight." Obviously because he has one more date left. Thank you. Because right now it's my time. And get it? Right now it's my time. My time is up. Your time is now kind of like thing. He was trying to play off of it, but you get it. In 5 days, he says, I will be the last opponent in the last match in the career of John Cena. 17 world championships. Hustle, loyalty, respect. He says John Cena is the greatest sports entertainer of all time. But John Cena will face the greatest wrestler of all time on Saturday. He wants to honor a hero who never gives up. He says he's going to do something no one has ever done before. I'm going to break his spirit. I'm going to wrap my arms around his neck. I'm going to squeeze everything out. I'm going to squeeze all the hustle, loyalty, and respect out of it. He says, I'm going to force you to give up. So I'm going to add one more thing. I did like this promo because it was just hyping up the match between him and John Cena. So I did like his promo. And he's actually, I'll give him credit. Gunther is trying his best to hype this up because John's not there. And speaking of John Cena, let me just stop this for a second and say, John Cena said that he wanted to work 220 dates this year for the company. And the company said, no, we only need you for 36. So all this time, John Cena could have been on TV more because he said it in the promo. He's going to push all his project to the side projects to the side and come on back to WWE basically full time. And you tell this man no? This is why I say creatively this company is bankrupt. It is horrible. It is terrible. How do you tell John Cena no when he wants to come back damn near full time? And he could have wrestled more people, had more great matches. This is ridiculous. And the fact that The Rock is still not around, which is frustrating even more. Travis Scott, please don't ever come back. I enjoy Travis Scott's music, but please don't come back to the company. Don't come back. Don't come back at all. Because you guys ruined John Cena's heel turn. If I was booking it, it would have been a little bit better. One day I might share how I would have booked his heel run. After knowing that The Rock and Travis Scott wasn't coming back. Which was just a slap in the face of John Cena. That is one thing I don't appreciate about The Rock. I don't give a damn how popular he is. I don't care what he did. I respect what he did. But in this instance, you slapped John Cena and his heel run in the face. And everything that he's done to the business, there should have been more respect. An absolute disgraceful thing. And Travis Scott, we know he don't care about nothing. He don't care about the business, so whatever. But please don't bring him back. I enjoy the music, but don't bring him back. And The Rock, I wouldn't mind if The Rock doesn't come back either. Unless he's going to come back and take Cody Rhodes' soul and Cody Rhodes turns heel. But respect to Gunther for actually trying to build this up without John Cena because the company said, we only need you for 36 dates. Absolutely disgusting. Next segment, we get a backstage hype video of all the matches coming up tonight. We get a promo package of all the chaos that happened last week in the main event where all the women were fighting each other, you know. Then Io Sky makes her entrance to the ring with Rhea Ripley. We get Kairi Sane versus Io Sky. Now, this was a pretty good match. Overall, it was a pretty good match. Again, the story is they betrayed Io Sky. Rhea Ripley has Io Sky's back. Asuka and Kairi Sane have each other's back. They're the women's tag champions. Obviously, they're trying to... Rio and Rhea Ripley are trying to go after those tag team championships. But all in all, it was a good match. I don't have no complaints about it. I just didn't care. Because I don't care about this story between them. Asuka's very good. I give all these women the respect for being good. I just want a better story. It's not a bad story. It's just I want a little more. Not just, oh, you're going to face this person. I bet you next week somehow they're probably going to do Rhea Ripley versus Asuka. I'm like, come on. You know, when the two tag teams team up together or the tag teams together and then one tag partner face the other and then the following week the other one face the other. Again, lack of creative. But nonetheless, the match served its purpose. We get a backstage promo with Logan Paul, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed asking Paul Heyman to handle Rey Mysterio because he slapped him last week. I want to take a pause for a moment. If people were watching this kind of funny to me a little bit. Logan Paul is literally going backstage and asking for help from a guy who he called 3 foot 6 foot inches yesterday. 3 feet and 6 foot inches. That's what he called him. He said, you're 3 foot 6 and I'm 6 foot. And then Rey Mysterio slapped him. But you're going backstage with a tough guy look and your shoulders are all brocked up. And I'm like, man, come on. Yes, Rey Mysterio is a Hall of Famer, but you're supposed to be Logan Paul, the Maverick. And you're asking Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker for help against Rey Mysterio. I really just took a moment. I was like, man, he's really asking for help right now. I feel like people just don't get it. They didn't see that. I'm like, he's really asking for help from Rey Mysterio, for Rey Mysterio, basically. I don't know. That was kind of funny to me because I'm just like, what? Like, you're supposed to be able to take him yourself. But anyway. Paul Heyman gives him back his brass knuckles saying just in case. After that, we get a backstage promo with the War Raiders. Excuse me. Now, I'm going to say something. When I was watching this promo, I didn't understand not one thing. I didn't hear anything. We have not seen the War Raiders in months. And they get a tag team championship match. What on earth are we doing? What are we doing? This is ridiculous. I'm sorry. They were mad that they were the Viking Experience, Viking Raiders, whatever they were. Then now they're back to the War Raiders and you're not even pushing them. Where are they? Are they on main event? I don't watch main event. Like, what is this company doing? You have so many tag teams and you got again, I get so mad. You have AJ Styles and Dragon Lee as your tag team champions when they're not even a tag team. By the way, this is no disrespect to AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. I like y'all. It's nothing personal. It's just AJ Styles is better than this. No disrespect to the World Tag Team titles. But this is just ridiculous. So they're hyping up their World Tag Team title match for the rest of the night. And honestly, I didn't care because by them not being on TV, you made me not care. With your creative, you made me not care. Next up, we get Rey Mysterio making his entrance to face Finn Balor. That was the match they're supposed to go one-on-one. But Logan Paul jumps Rey Mysterio from behind, starts beating him up a little bit. Rey Mysterio counters, is about to hit the 619. The Masked Man enters the ring. The same Masked Man who jumped over the War Games cell to kick CM Punk in the face and stomp him out. Curb stomp him, to be exact. He saves Logan Paul, kicks Rey Mysterio in the face, and gives him a curb stomp. Then he runs out of the ring, and the security guards chase him. Let me just say this, too, before we go on. WWE, every time you bring security guards out, it's a failure. I'm going to be honest. Every time you bring security guards out, it is a failure. Because we all know that they're indie wrestlers who are being paid to be security. They look like it. They don't look like security guards. They don't look like security guards every time. Yes, Brandon, you have to suspend your disbelief. Yeah, I know. But this is ridiculous. Horrible. So they chase the masked man out. Logan Paul's getting ready to beat up Rey Mysterio again. But here comes LA Knight. LA Knight. And the music starts going off. He runs to the ring. And LA Knight says, Rey Mysterio is a legend. He says, we're not going to do it anywhere else. We're going to do it right here in KC. And that Logan Paul joining the Vision that he was a sorry ass. Basically, another typical LA Knight promo. LA Knight, yeah. So then after that, and the reason why I say it like that in such disgust is because what are we doing with LA Knight? I said this on SmackDown when he got beat by Gunther. He got tapped out. He tapped him out. What are we doing with LA Knight? Nothing. So this resulted in, again, LA Knight saving Rey Mysterio. By the way, what took so long for you to save Rey Mysterio? But that's neither here nor there. So now, what comes out of this is LA Knight versus Logan Paul. Wow. Such creatively, just great television, man. I'm being sarcastic. Next up, we get the War Raiders versus AJ Styles and Dragon Lee with the New Day and Grayson Waller at ringside. Okay, let me stop for a second here before I get to this match. The New Day is awful. The New Day is awful. The clothes that they wear, no disrespect. Again, it's not personal. We're talking about creative. We're not talking about coming at these guys personally because I don't do that. They're awful. This heel run, I told y'all, has been a failure. This heel run is a failure. They're horrible. They're not good. It's over. Go back to being babyface because this ain't working. It is frustratingly, it's just so, I'm annoyed. What is the Grayson Waller there for? Why is he with this group? Because you let Austin Theory go? He's been missing. You dumped him to the side and you joined the New Day. Why? Why is this on television? The New Day is not good anymore as a heel group. They tried, it failed, it's over. Enough. Go back to being babyfaces now. Bring back Big E. Let him root you on. Win the WWE Tag Team title SmackDown. They can actually move them to SmackDown. It'll be better if you just move them to SmackDown. They already won the World Tag Team titles, the new iteration, the new belts. You know, the ones that Triple H gave after WrestleMania 40. Then he gave Grayson Waller and Austin Theory the new belts on SmackDown. You know, you remember. If you remember that segment. Let them go over there and win those belts so they can win every single belt that this company has to offer. They won the championship before, but they never won the iteration of those belts. It'll be nice to see them go win the belts, but put them on SmackDown. When's the draft? Again, no creative in this company. A creatively bankrupt company. So we have those guys sitting at ringside. As I said, the New Day's at ringside. AJ Styles and Dragon Lee have a good match with the War Raiders. I told y'all I didn't care because they made me not care about the War Raiders. After the match, the New Day jump in the ring. The Usos come out. Now, this is the swerve, right, that I'm thinking of. The Usos come out. Jey Uso just yeets and they go in the ring. They want to run it back. He does the whole with his hand, run it back. They run it back. They start celebrating again. Meanwhile, you're supposed to be serious. Last week, you talking about the title will look better on Roman Reigns and I don't know what I'm going to do. And you just walk away from Jack Raymond. Then you come out this week all happy and smile. I think there's a swerve going on. Because I'm telling you what, if there's no swerve and he's just back as a tag team wrestler, what was the point of wasting our time? I think there's going to be a swerve here. And when him and his brother reunite, because they said in this promo, we're back to being a tag team, the Usos back where you want the World Tag Team titles and blah, blah, blah. I believe that Jey Uso is probably going to turn heel. That's why they're doing this. To basically smoothly get it over. Because if they don't do this, and they just go back to being a tag team and they win back the World Tag Team titles and nothing comes out of this, another creatively bankrupt part in this company. And I will be furious about it. Anyway, Jimmy Uso says that the Usos are back in the tag team division. They cut a promo on AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. Then they cut a promo on the New Day. The New Day turned around and tried to attack them. They threw them out of the ring. Grayson Waller tried to say, run it back, but then he just gets out of the ring. They go face to face with AJ Styles and Dragon Lee again. There must be a swerve here, because if there's no swerve here, then what are we doing? If he's going to be back in the tag team thing, then fine. But why are we ditching the storyline? Again, there must be a swerve in between this, because if there's not, like I said, creatively bankrupt. In the next segment, we get Jackie Redmond in the ring waiting on Stephanie Valkyrie to come out. She introduced Stephanie Valkyrie. Jackie Redmond asked her who she wants to face next. Now, Stephanie Valkyrie says, I want to face everybody. I don't really talk that much. I just want to fight. I want to fight. Nikki Bella's a legend. All these different things like that. Out comes Nikki Bella. She cuts her off. She interrupts her. Out comes Nikki Bella. Nikki Bella says, Kenzie doesn't deserve her presence tonight. Kenzie doesn't deserve the presence of someone like her tonight. She says she's a Hall of Famer and a fan's face. Now, this was funny. She said, I'm a Hall of Famer. He said, no, you're not. I did laugh at that, even though she is a Hall of Famer, but I did laugh because I was like, oh, he really said, no, you're not. Like, and the microphone actually caught it. So that's pretty funny. She came out to tell that she demands another women's world title match. And before Stephanie Valkyrie could respond, Raquel Rodriguez picked up Nikki Bella off that apron and slammed her into the steel pole. Raquel Rodriguez gets in the ring and says, name the time and place and I'll be there to take your title. Fair enough. You could just ask for a world title match and you get it. Congratulations, Raquel Rodriguez. Because I remember last week you asked Adam Pearce and you got the match. So congratulations to you for getting your women's world title match. We go backstage to the Judgment Day and Finn Balor says, lucky me, because I guess, since Rey Mysterio got beat up by Logan Paul in that mask, man, he doesn't have to face Rey Mysterio now. Raquel Rodriguez comes back. Morgan asks her why she didn't say anything. Raquel Rodriguez says she didn't know she had to run everything through her. A little bit of tension there, but Liv Morgan calms it down and says, no, I'm rooting for you. You don't have to do that. I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you to basically go after the Women's World Championship. Raquel Rodriguez says she's going to go talk to Adam Pearce to get her match set up with Stephanie Valkyrie. Liv Morgan says she's going at Roxanne Perez. Roxanne Perez says why. Liv Morgan says because Raquel Rodriguez is going to be the Women's World Champion, so we're going to be the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. And I said to myself, well, at least that's a good way to get Liv Morgan back on TV and a tag team, burn off the ring rust. So I didn't really have a problem with it. I'm just, right now, I guess they're planting the seeds, so I'll give them a little bit of a break. But other than that, I don't know. After that, we get Lala Valkyria making her entrance with Bayley. Roxanne Perez comes out with Liv Morgan. It's Roxanne Perez versus Lala Valkyria. And I just wanted to say this. I don't care about Lala Valkyria. Ever since she lost the Women's Intercontinental Championship, it's been downhill since then. I told you guys last week, what happened to the Bayley storyline? Where's Bayley in the storyline of her being a schizophrenic? Or whatever it was. Or she was going through all these emotions about who she wanted to be. Where's the storyline at? Roxanne Perez beats Lala Valkyria with the help of Liv Morgan. She hits the Pop Rocks 1, 2, 3, the match is over. And I didn't really care about it at all. Again, we're going to give Liv Morgan some time to get her stuff together back in the ring. But other than that, I didn't care. This match did nothing for me. Roxanne Perez is great. She's going to be phenomenal for the next 10, 15 years in the business. I have no problem with, like I said, it's not personal with them. It's storyline-wise, I don't care. Because how many months, and I know Liv Morgan went away, and you had to stop the storyline. You brought in Roxanne Perez to kind of keep it going, but now it's time to push it up. And let me just say this too, before we get to the next segment. I don't care that it's December. And people are going to make this excuse, say, well, it's wrestlers December. It's usually a down period because there are down periods to wrestling. Just like it's in the NFL. There's down periods in the NFL. There are down periods in the NBA. And I get it. That's fine. But you're going into the Royal Rumble season. Get me excited about the show. What are we doing? What are we doing here? There is no excitement on these shows. I don't care about Roxanne Perez facing Lara Valkyria. For what? For the women's tag team titles? You're still neglecting the women's world title, and you gave Stephanie Valkyria 10 minutes outside in the ring to cut a promo, to be interrupted, to be giving Raquel Rodriguez a title shot. For what? I'm next in line? How? Who'd you beat? Again, makes no sense. Now, this is where I think I missed that Natty Neidhart and Maxine Dupree segment, but they do a phenomenal job. I'm going to see it after this, but I'm actually enjoying what they're doing with Maxine Dupree and building her up to be more serious with Natty. And I've always said this, Natty Neidhart, one of the most underrated, criminally underrated women in this business, and it's a shame what Vince McMahon and his creative did to this woman. She should be the vocal point of women's wrestling. In the history of women's wrestling, Natty Neidhart should be at the top of the business. I get Charlotte Flair. I like Charlotte Flair a lot. A lot of people don't like Charlotte Flair. I like Charlotte Flair a lot. Natty Neidhart should be the most decorated women's world champion that this business has ever seen. And it's a crying shame of what happened to her creative and the booking. Let me tell you something. Vince McMahon had this woman farting on TV about 10 years ago. Farting. She should have been the first women's Intercontinental Champion. If not that, the first women's United States Champion. And what did I tell you guys the first time I started doing this? The company should never make the Women's United States Championship or the Intercontinental. They should let the women have their own. It's called the Women's European Championship. And Natty Neidhart should have been the first one to win that. And they put it between both brands. Because what is SmackDown doing with the Women's United States Championship? Exactly my point. Creatively bankrupting this company. We get LA Knight versus Logan Paul now, next up. Good match going. LA Knight gets distracted because Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker come out. They distract the referee. Bronson Reed starts to beat up LA Knight. The referee kicked him out, but they didn't go nowhere. They stayed out there. They pushed him to the side. When they went to the side, LA Knight and Logan Paul was out by ringside fighting. By the table, the masked man comes in and curb stomps LA Knight. Logan Paul throws him back in the ring. Does a splash. 1, 2, 3. The match is over. It was a good match for what it was. Then Paul Heyman is on the microphone, hyping up the Vision. And actually, after the match was over, Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker run into the ring. They started beating up LA Knight. Braun Breaker spears LA Knight. Bronson Reed hits the tsunami on LA Knight. Then he goes up and does it again. Paul Heyman says on the anniversary of the Netflix deal, Netflix deal was January the 6th, but, because it's a new year, January the 5th lands on a Monday. You will have a new World Heavyweight Champion in Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker says he has a question. Where is CM Punk? He says if he was here, there'd be back-to-back losses to Kansas City. Now, obviously, he's playing off the fact that Kansas City Chiefs lost last night to the Houston Texans. Where is the CM Punk? Not physically here. He's saying that he's not buying the new CM Punk, so not physically being here, but the new CM Punk. Where's the old CM Punk, basically? I want the old CM Punk back. He says he wants the CM Punk from 2013 back. The ones who walked through this hallway, the CM Punk who walked through the hallway with the fear of everybody else. The one who had a historic 400-day title reign. Where is that CM Punk? Braun Breaker's asking. He's not buying the fact that he's backstage taking pictures. He says, imagine you go your whole career talking about your straight edge. I never had alcohol a day in my life because that was CM Punk's thing back in the day. Then he says, I never had alcohol, but you look like the biggest crackhead in the world. I thought this was a good one. He wants, like I said, he wants to CM Punk back from 2013. He gets on his knees in the mid-ring and begs for the old CM Punk back. He said he wants to beat the greatest superstar to lace up a pair of boots. And if he doesn't get that version of Punk, he's going to destroy him and send him to the hospital. He's going to Braun break him. He's going to take his World Heavyweight Championship. And while he's at it, he's going to take his wife too. That should be the trigger to bring back CM Punk. Right there, those words. I'm going to take your wife too. The last person that brought up his wife was Drew McIntyre inside of Hell in a Cell in October. Not this past October, last year's October. That's going to bring back CM Punk. That's the trigger words. And plus his wife's back in the company, but there you go. That's the trigger word for you right there. Then LA Knight is shown on the screen. He says he's not done. I'm not done. So Bronson Reed and Logan Paul go in the back. Now this is where I say I like the ending of the show. Bronson Reed and Logan Paul go backstage and put LA Knight through the table. He's still moving. He's not staying down. He's getting back up. So what they do is pick up LA Knight. They pick him up. They put him on top of a car. Logan Paul's like punching security. Again, I told you guys about the security. Security looks terrible. Actually, the last security guard that he punched was kind of like a tall guy. The one he, shoved down. There was another tall guy that he didn't really hit. But, so they go up there. Logan Paul is punching LA Knight. His punches look like he's missing. Lays him out on the car. And Bronson Reed does a tsunami on top of the car. Now, here's what frustrates me at the end of this. So he hits him with the tsunami on top of the car. Phenomenal spot. It was a great spot. Here's the frustrating part. Adam Pearce comes out of nowhere and starts yelling, get a medic, get down. And I'm not going to yell because I'm just not going to yell. But the way he did it, you guys know how Adam Pearce yells. It bothers me because he does the same thing every single week. Every week he does the same thing. It's one of the most annoying things in the world, having a general manager on TV yelling. You know what wasn't annoying with a general manager? When Teddy Long would say, you will go one-on-one with The Undertaker. That was good. Adam Pearce yelling and saying, I need a drink, has to be stopped in 2026. I'm not going to deal with it. I'm just not going to deal with it. Enough of him yelling all the time. I'm tired of it. As soon as I heard yelling and they're pointing at him, get down and all this stuff, I'm like, man, what are we doing? What are we doing? Adam Pearce, what are we doing? Why are you yelling? What's the point of you yelling? That's your character? You're going to yell and say, I need a drink and get stressed out on the job? Come on, man. We need something better creatively for the general manager. At least Nick Aldis is consistent. Now, he consistently yells Adam Pearce, but come on, enough of it. Every single week when he's on TV, he's either yelling at somebody. Enough. Show his personality like you did when he was going up against Roman Reigns in the Bloodline back in 2020 and 2021 when he was the GM of SmackDown, if you guys can recall that. Some of the worst booked wrestling of all time during the pandemic, but Roman Reigns and the Bloodline saved the company, in my opinion. But yeah, Adam Pearce yelling, just an annoyance. But anyway, this entire show, again, besides the last segment that I just went over of Bronson Reed putting a tsunami on LA Knight with Logan Paul by his side, Braun Breaker had a nice promo with Paul Heyman, Natty Neidhart and Maxine Dupri's backstage segment, and Gunther opening the show. That was good. The rest of the show was garbage. Backstage segments again. The Judgment Day. I understand Liv Morgan is gone, but you stretch this out long enough. I'm tired of it. And the Royal Rumble is so far away, feels like it's going to be forever, that they're just going to drag this out. This show was nothing but filler tonight. This was not a good show. Anybody says it's a good show, they're lying to you. They're lying. And I'm not going to come up here and lie. I'm going to be honest as much as I can. This was an awful show. There were 3 good things I liked about it. And the whole Jey Uso thing, we'll see where that goes. Monday Night Raw needs to be better. This company is creatively bankrupt. And going into the holiday season, I don't see what they're going to do. I think they're going to just let everything just be filler until January 5th. That's when we're going to get a big show. Other than that, this is going to be some boring Monday Night Raws that we're going to get in the future next couple of weeks. And SmackDown. SmackDown is horrible. But other than that, that's my review. This show was awful. And anybody tells you any different, they lying to you. I'm sorry, they are. That's it for my Raw review. I hope you guys enjoyed my review. Let me know in the comment section down below how you felt about Raw tonight. Whether you liked it, you disliked it, maybe you disagree with my opinions on the show. Feel free to comment down below. And I'll be back with probably my Saturday night main event predictions. The John Cena card. If they add more matches, I'll basically probably do a video about that. Before I go, please hit that like button and subscribe button to the YouTube channel for more great content coming up. Until next time, guys. See you real soon.